Morning guys, Mark Ferrasci with ProTech Dog Training. We just got done with our kennel a little bit and made sure we got water to everybody, and I get to a spot where I can take off and go, and I'm usually trying to beat the heat. We're up here in the high desert. And it's actually a couple degrees cooler, but you have the glare of that sand and everything else that really makes it really intense when it does get hot. So today we have a cool day. It's supposed to be high 70s, low 80s. It's going to be a beautiful day today, so I'm going to take advantage of it. So it's now about 9:30, and I'm going to head to Tractor Supply and do a little circuit that I've got set up. And I usually do this with my environment. This is the closest I'll go 30-40 minutes to get there. Go to Tractor Supply, and then I'll go to Home Depot, PetSmart, that kind of thing, and make a circuit in and out of the vehicle, into the store, 5-minute, 10-minute little short sessions, and then head to the next spot. And with these puppies right now, I am working on greeting routine, and I'll go through that at some point. I've already did a video on that in the past, but I'll go over the subject again if I get somebody to team up with me to film me as I go out. We'll look to do that in the next week or so if I can talk somebody into traveling with me and holding a camera as I do my thing inside of these areas. But I have a distinct greeting routine that I go through, and I'm trying to make sure I develop the puppy and get them through reactivity and being very secure with going into people. And the idea is the more confident they are with people, the more they're going to be able to be stable and not be reactive as they get older, and also be confident within the protection work. Excuse the bouncing, guys. We're on my dirt roads before I hit pavement. It's usually about a couple miles that we've got to go before we hit pavement. We're out here in the high desert, way out in the boonies, so it's a little different. So in that regards, I do a lot of the greeting routine. I want to go through that with you guys so you see how I develop that in regards to that. And there's a lot of difference of opinion and different philosophies in this. If you get around people that do working dogs and to do police dogs, they just basically want the dog to be neutral and to not really get the dog to be that friendly with people at all, just so he's not reactive, okay? And I can understand their point of view. I deal with a civilian population that I cannot have a liability when I produce a product that is going to end up being anywhere near what a police dog, well, not anywhere near, don't get me wrong, but be anywhere in that same vein where I can get away with it. The dog's not going to be in a car, getting the door popped, going after the bad guy, and have a lot less interaction with people in their jobs that they do, okay? So I do a lot of interaction with people because I am selling my dogs to the general public a lot of times, and even if I do sell it to police, they can use these type of dogs where they're a lot more functional in the world, where they can go out and do demos, have them be petted by kids, and have them be a lot more social and still be balanced enough to go after the bad guy and do their job on the street, okay? Like Dutch, I raised him that way, and they're real happy with him up there in the Bay Area because they can go out into schools, they can do all kinds of things, and they know that Dutch is just a very social animal, and he's very stable. But he's also a Dutch Shepherd, so when they fire him up and he's going after the bad guy, he's going to work. He's going to take the man down, and it's going to be. And he's been taught to learn from a very young age, so he is very well balanced. If you watch Joker, that's a very well balanced dog. I can take him pretty much anywhere I go. He's very social. At the same time, if I turn him on, he's going to eat you, and that's what it's all about. So back to our puppy development. I'm allowed to yak at the screen as I'm doing my driving this morning. So when you see me doing this interaction with Joker, and you saw me yesterday with Daisy, and then today I did it with Buddy, and you saw me accenting Buddy's interaction, I wanted you to see the difference in body language. I knew there was going to be a difference in how the male was presenting himself, the male puppy, and dealing with Joker, than the female. The female is a lot more frolicky and happy-go-lucky. You see that the male actually asserting a dominant posture and trying to get up on top of Joker, and these things will change. They're always in a constant state of flux. Am I going to balance my pack and always expect these dogs to get along? No, because I'm raising dogs to be personal protection, to be executive protection dogs. But I do need to get them through these developmental stages that I need to work on. There was a week or two ago that I had the two puppies were running together, and somebody made the comment that you don't want to leave them together all the time because they'll start relying on each other and then they don't care about you as much, and that's very relevant. It's very true. It's not something that I didn't know, okay? But at the same time, his point was very well taken, and right away, the next day I separated him because I got my mind jogged and went, yeah, he's right. And it's not something, again, this stuff is constantly in a state of flux. It never is exact. Every dog is different. And I'm feeling it. It's like clay that you're molding and shaping and forming. And you have to deal with the dog's temperament, his bloodlines, his breeding, so many factors that involve, and that's why we get into it being an art and a science. I mean, there's a lot of science involved with it, but there's also a lot of experience and artwork and feel, okay? You get around some good trainers, they're good because they have an instinct and they have a feel for what they put together with their training programs. And they may not do the same thing exactly as I do. Their personalities and their agendas and their wants are along different lines. I've got a guy in the LA area that's a very good trainer, a hell of a trainer, and he's very much into doing the protection sports, and he's very rigid with that. I don't like protection sports because I have to conform to a book of rules, and I've been training dogs since I was a kid, so that being the fact, I get into freestyle, okay? Getting into being more freestyle and more communicative to my animal, and understanding body language, voice tone, all these things that I'm trying to teach you, it makes me an individual person. I'm very individualistic in what I get into, so we're just two different people. And I don't think I'm ever really gonna, if I do get into sport, I do end up putting titles on dogs, which I'm playing with a PSA club right now, and I want to try to put a PSA title on Joker. I don't know how far I'm going to go with it. It doesn't float my boat. Okay, it doesn't make me a happy camper to go out there and get a trophy. I don't need to be striving for my peer acceptance on the bench. Okay, I like to be around these guys, and then you have all kinds of transitions that are going on. I won't go into it. There's some stuff going on right now in the dog field. It never stops. So back to our puppy development. I'm on a road here. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I will go this way. So puppy development is always in a constant state of flux. I'm looking at things. I'm kind of poking at certain things. I'm seeing the development. If I see something that gets to be, let's say, Buddy starts to get too much stature and really get in Joker's face, and it's not conducive to training, or it looks like it's going to be a problem, I'm going to pull that whole situation out of the equation. But I'm pretty good at what I do. I think I can balance it. I want to get to the point where my pack, I can take them and intermittently just get them all together and put them in the truck and take off down to the river, okay? And be able to have them get along and understand to interact, okay? And that's what we're working on now. We're trying to get them to interact enough and get that to be a positive association to a point where I have a balanced pack within that thing, so I can use it as a tool. Like I said, using Joker as a mentor and using that as a tool, because I really believe in strong dog, weak dog, and I did this for years. I did it before I ever met Caesar. I was very aware of it. I've been using what I call, again, strong dog, weak dog, and using a mentor in the pack that I use to develop my puppies is something that I use a lot. And then there's times that I've had very good ones. Maury, like I said, he raised 3 dogs for me. He raised Dutch, he raised Joker, he's touched a lot of my dogs. And that quality tool that you've formed and shaped, like I'm doing with Joker right now, getting him to understand what his job is as he goes along, he'll get better and better at this, and he will actually beat it just like Maury was, where I could actually just kind of put a notch on my pistol, or my stick, and actually put a notch there saying that's one more that Maury has helped me develop, okay? So that's what we're doing with Joker, all right? So watch this stuff, watch it interplay, and don't be surprised if I just kind of stop doing that for a while and pull it. It's not going to be an everyday thing. As it develops and I start to see a problem, I may decide that I don't want that to be going along that same vein anymore, okay? But I'm going to strive to try to be able to take them all out and go out to the river and run all my dogs in a kind of a quasi-pack. 2 or 3 of them at a time, whatever I pack into the truck and go. So it's something I've been doing for years, using environmental in that regards, and exercise and development in the exercise and in that area as far as building muscle tone and stamina and lung capacity. All that good stuff is important to me, because I want a dog that actually lives a life. I don't want a dog that ends up having to be stuck in the kennel all the time. So it's important to me in that regards. So I'm going to let you go. It's already about almost 10 minutes on this video. So have a good day. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll play this back and see if I like what I said. Have a good day, folks. Tell your friends. Hit that bell. Hit that subscribe button. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.